Hello Year 6, it's Miss Jobbins here with your teaching points for lesson 9 and 10. We've amalgamated, that means push these two lessons together because this is all about the time when you are now writing your extended writing pieces and making sure that they are ready for your extended writing books. So we want you, before you do anything, to make sure that you are looking through all of the grammar resources. You're going through absolutely everything that we have given you. You're looking through the grammar resources. You're looking through all these slides again to remind you about your learning. You're looking through all the modelled examples as well that we've provided you and all of your notes. Now it's time to stop and look back at your first draft plan. Have you got everything from yesterday's lesson? Have you included the success criteria, the features, all the 5 W's, all the elements, as many as you can from the grammar resources as well? We really want to see a really outstanding piece of writing today. We've given you enough time, and as I said, we've given you enough tools to support you in your learning. So really think about, before you even start writing your extended writing, that you are ready to go and that you are really, really thinking hard about it. Now, before I even get into lesson 9 and 10, I want to remind you all about your presentation. Some of you are really, 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 really excelling at keeping your presentation and the standards of presentation and handwriting really high at home, whereas others of you are really starting to lack sort of not motivation, but you're slightly falling behind. So we want to keep reminding you that you need to stay on top of those things and you need to make sure that you are really, really, really setting the same expectation at home as you are in school. So that means your handwriting is cursive and joint. You're making sure that you're continuing with making sure that it's on the line. Your ascenders and descenders are in the correct places. You're making sure that you're using the cursive script that we use in school. Okay? So today's 2 lessons, these teaching points, as I said, are brought together. And your lesson objective today and tomorrow is to write a newspaper article. So, as you know, we always start with a spelling starter. And however, today's spelling starter is slightly different. We thought we'd engage a little bit more and do something more creative with today's starter. And we'd like you to upload these alongside your extended writing, but perhaps in the other English portfolio, because these really shouldn't go with your extended writing upload. So today we'd like you to create these spelling starters into a spellings rainbow. You can look at these models here. So that's just basically writing one word as one colour, writing another, then writing another, then writing another, then writing another, making sure that it's cursive and clear, joint and on the line, and it's presented really beautifully. We really look forward to seeing some of these, and some that are really, really exquisite we'll load up to the website, as well as we'll be loading it up to Class Dojo and sending in to the Head Teachers Award. That goes on to my next point. In today's lesson, you are going to be finalising your edit planning, your first draft, and you will have been edited and improved them all. You would have used the websites linked, the previous slides, the grammar resource and the teaching points and your modelled examples to really support your learning. You now need to write your final improved and moderated piece, a moderation ready newspaper article. You need to make sure that you include everything from the success criteria and you've really thought about up-levelling your language. Don't forget to use that Year 6 language, not that boring Year 2 language, with the help of my favourite thing, a thesaurus, yeah! And you've checked your punctuation and grammar and your spelling in particular using a dictionary. Please also, before you're doing anything else, or do anything else, I should say, you need to have made sure that you've read through it and you've got others to read through it as well. Do they think it's good enough to now write up beautifully and neatly in your extended writing book? You also need to make sure that your article, so that's your newspaper article, is engaging and as exciting for the reader. So really thinking about your taps as well, please. So just a reminder, you know that you have picked one of these 2 newspaper videos and you're now becoming a journalist. You need to put yourself in the mindset of a journalist. You are reporting on something that's going on and that you would like to make a difference to. You've already planned and written your first draft, and as I've said, you've included everything that I've already mentioned, and you've really made sure that you've read through it and others have read through it as well. You've ticked off your success criteria, showing evidence of 2 or more elements from it, and you've used all the tools that we've provided you to get going. You need to make sure as well as that you've gone through it and you've gone through the success criteria, and you've also thought about perhaps even challenging yourself. Make sure you have a go at this challenge. So in the closing paragraph, can you include a sentence that looks forward to the future? Don't also forget your top tips. Remember those, they are really important in your learning, and that you should be able to, as well as your success criteria, be able to tick these off alongside them. So, here in lesson 9, if you get through to writing it out today and your plan is finished, or perhaps you're now listening to lesson 10, you need to remember the rules for your layout to your extended writing. You need to remember that it's your long date in your cursive and joint handwriting on the line, and your LO is to write a newspaper article. You need to make sure that your LO and long date are at the top, on the line, and underlined in pencil. You need to make sure that, as I've already said, you've got cursive, joint, and neat handwriting, which itself is on the line, and you're using a blue handwriting pen. We do not want to see ballpoint pens because they're not particularly nice. If you don't have a blue handwriting pen, perhaps you have a black handwriting pen at home that you would like to use instead. That's absolutely fine, as long as it's not one of those like ballpoint, not very nice pens to use inside a very posh extended writing book. You then need to think about how you're going to lay out your article. Are you going to lay it out on the modelled example that we've provided on the website, you know, that little piece of paper, or are you going to use the modelled examples, if I can get them up here for you very quickly, are you going to do it like a 2-page spread? If I can find it here, I'm just going back. Sorry if some of you don't particularly like looking at that sort of thing. So you could lay it out like this, like the structure that we've provided on the website, or you could think about doing it as a 2-page really neat spread. As you can see here, they've used rulers to draw their lines, and they've left spaces for not only a title and a subheading, but also for pictures and captions, because you're going to need to be doing that as well. Okay? You can also remember that inside the grammar resource and this resource here, you've got a newspaper writing word map that will really support your learning. But before you even get onto your extended writing, ladies and gentlemen, you really need to think about making sure you've read through all of these slides again and you've gone over all the resources, like I said, that we've provided you with. So you then need to misalign then 2 lines between each new paragraph. Now, obviously, this is slightly different if you're drawing lines between them to create a newspaper-style piece of writing. If you'd like to, you don't have to include indents. I don't often ask for them in my class because I don't particularly like it myself, but if you like to use indents, that's up to you. Make sure your subheadings are underlined and your title is really catchy. Perhaps you've used some colours in them as well. We don't mind that. Make sure that you remember to do your pictures at the end, so you leave space for them and then you do them once your writing is complete. We'd like no more than 3 pictures, please, and make sure that you've left space for their captions as well. Please can we remind you that if at any point you do have any questions or queries about anything, all you need to do is get in contact with us over Class Dojo. We will be more than happy to support you in your learning. Finally, you need to make sure that once you've done all of this, you need to stop. You need to reread your work to check it makes sense and you've included everything from the success criteria. You need to make sure that you've ticked your success criteria as you've done this final read through and edit and improve in your extended writing book. You need to make sure that you've gone through the grammar resource slides. Have you checked you've used everything correctly? Reread it again, this time out loud to yourself. Does it sound right? Then you need to reread it to somebody in your household, a parent, a carer, a sibling. Do they enjoy it when they listen to it? Are they engaged? Is there something, maybe providing feedback from them, that you could change inside your writing? Have you challenged yourself? Have you used that technical vocab, including glossary perhaps at the end? You don't necessarily need one at the end, but maybe you could do brackets to describe what that word means, perhaps. Is your audience and purpose clear? And make sure you have not used silly little things like silly vocabulary or things that you don't necessarily need in this. Make sure you can, of course, have a bit of humour, but remember you are a journalist, you are a professional, so get into the mindset of that person. Once you've done all of that, you then need to take a picture of your work and save it on your device. Also, keeping your copy of your extended writing, making sure that you're putting it inside your portfolio ready to bring into school to stick inside your extended writing book. You then go to Class Dojo and log in and share it in the English extended writing page for week 3 and 4. You need to make sure that you've uploaded it to that section, please. We don't want to have to trawl through all your work thinking that we haven't seen it and therefore cannot mark it. Good luck. Your teacher will then review it and share it with the class and also provide you with some feedback. We wish you the best of luck, Year 6, and we look forward to reading your fabulous writing. Please remember, though, any questions, do not hesitate to get in contact with us. Have a lovely day and speak to you soon. Bye.